Ladies and gentlemen of that damn fine print, it is Wapo, and today, boy, I have a killer interview. Today I have the man, the TYS Talk Your Shit champion. He's been doing a lot in the promo verse, but hey, let me get him in here myself.
Finito Music.
Donuts on the beat.
Hey! I'm sorry, but Monkeys in the Back. We need to play that one more time, just for everybody here.
Finito Music.
Donuts on the beat.
Oh my goodness. I am so lucky to interview one of the most charismatic, song catching, the man, the myth, Ramboa. I mean, hey, he's got his nice title here. How you doing, buddy? You look like you're doing pretty good, especially off the weekend that you had.
Wapo, salud.
Salud.
What's going on, doggy?
Hey, it's going, man. It's going. Man, you're such a high in demand individual. I'm so glad my people got with your people enough to give me time to interview you. So how you been? I'm sure you coming off a really, really good big win off of Hollywood Haywood, and I'm sure you've been celebrating. You know how we can't sleep, we can't celebrate because we're always busy and always working constantly, especially with all this madness we have going on in the promo world. But how are you doing? How's everything going on?
Man, straight up like you said, man, I'm multitasking. I'm celebrating. It has been a hell of a week, not in a negative way. It's just busy. Some weeks are busier than others. I had 3 matches this past week. And the grind doesn't stop. I got to jump back in WGP this Wednesday, back in action. So, I'm celebrating tonight to refocus tomorrow again, man. It has just been nonstop, legendary work that we're doing right now. And honestly, man, I just feel blessed. I feel blessed. How are you?
Hey, I'm great. I mean, besides the 1 point losers that I've been getting constantly, but hey, it comes with the territory. You win some, you lose some, but to me, I think I'm always winning because as long as I give, fans what they want to see, and as long as everything's going on, I think it's all Gucci. But hey, I want to explain everything too because you came from the BWO world. BWO just started coming out, within this past year, and you guys been making a splash. And what do you think about that? I mean, you guys came out of your own little bubble, and you guys are just coming over the place, just dominating. Is that because BWO is a untapped resource with a lot of legends in the making?
I mean, we were just all in one spirit, we didn't realize we were aiming for the same things until we were actually on the grind. I could speak for myself. I was in BWO for 2 years. Never had any interest in collaborating elsewhere. All my favorite idols, Undertaker, Sting, Kobe Bryant, Ray Lewis, Mariano Rivera, bro. All my idols stayed home. You know what I'm saying? So
Exactly.
that's what I wanted to do. Um, but when once other brands started to reach out to us and we started to see that no matter how fire our product was, we just weren't acknowledged, you know. I think we all got a big chip on our shoulder. I was like, okay, let's run this shit. And it became a personal desire of mine to just make a lot of noise, which I've been doing. I wanted to give like 110% to the year 2024 to the promo verse, in a negative way. You know, like I wanted to just straight like slap people silly. And what ended up happening is I ended up meeting a lot of great people, man. And you know, a lot of these people don't get along with one another, but they've all been very nice to me. You being one of those people, uh, Dr. Quack, Haywood, Dan Johnson. I didn't come out here looking for friends, but the hospitality that I've gotten, Purge, the hospitality that I've gotten has been overwhelming. And now I still have that chip on my shoulder, not only for myself but for my brand too. I consider myself BWO first, um, but I also want to give back to those people who literally have held their hand out to help me. And I want to just make all of you guys proud. I don't want when I'm done, whenever whatever happens, wherever God takes me in life, um, I want you guys to leave with this good impression that you got a good friend and you've made fire work with me. Ultimately,
Man, and that's awesome. And I tell you, man, real recognizes real. And I'm like I said, I'm glad that you guys did, come out the bubble because people like you and Bones uh, had a bad, not I'm not gonna say a bad reputation, but they
call it
seem
what
like
it is, Poppy.
I
Call it what
mean,
it is.
okay, well they didn't give you the chance. You know what I mean? Especially Bones. I mean, because Bones does. I mean, he's a master of his craft. And you don't want to cross him. And a lot of people, I don't want to say it was fear, maybe it was, but I mean, a lot of people found out when they opened their door. You guys are just, you guys are awesome. I mean, because BWO, it's tough. Not a lot of people can make it in BWO. Um, a lot of people that were champions in places that they just dominated come to BWO because they want to taste it, and they just can't make it. And it's just something about an aura that you guys have. You got that. I like to say that you're alpha, the alpha. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people can't relate to that. Now, um, with that being said, do you guys believe or do you guys like? I mean, I know you can only speak for yourself, but what do you think about this collaboration? Do you? I know that you said you're happy that you would come to make you friends, but do you think that this collaboration and stuff? You think that it should be just on the level of not being together, but being, supportive?
Um, I'm not sure yet. It's like I could only compare it to this, right? Um, Me and my wife had a deep conversation one time about best friends and the word best friend. And I'm like, she's like, do you believe in that? I'm like, yes and no. Yes, I believe a best friend could exist, but no, you won't know in the moment. You don't know until like your latter years in life where like that person was surely my best friend because only time and relationship and consistency can actually prove it. So I feel the same way about where we are with these relationships with other brands. I'm like, yeah, it seems like a good idea. The things that we want to bring to the table, and it's definitely like you said, BWO is a brotherhood. It's definitely conversations that we have. Like, hey, we would love to bring this to the table to insert company name here, right? But we don't run that show. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We could have all the great desire, all the great ideas, all the passion and all the good intention. But ultimately, if the puppet master there does not agree with our vision, then our hands are tied. All we could ultimately do is try our best to, do our best with work, be the best champions, try to bring the best stories, be giving as well, because it can't be all take, 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 take. You got to give as well. Have meaningful losses, things that, do stuff that's impactful and helps everyone. Like, for example, we saw years ago when AEW started collaborating with all these Forbidden Door companies, right? But a lot of it blew up in their face,
Right.
and we certainly don't go into our collaborations hoping that we fail or thinking that we will fail or definitely not trying to take advantage of anyone. But there's that realm of possibility that, hey, man, what we intend to do might not pan out the way we want it to. And the best we could do is just try our best, man. And it's scary sometimes because we take so much pride in what we have in the BWO, and we don't want to be slandered, and that's a possibility.
Just like you said, but sometimes it is scary, but you failing sometimes is a good thing because you learn from your experience. It's failing to me is you learn, you live and you learn. There's always opportunity from not getting the job done. But the thing about it is, yes, I and then BWO is a topic that because a lot of people are, as I could say, we had that little thing going on with the little racist stuff going on and stuff like that, and a lot of people do tend to try to watch themselves with the BW, and then other times a lot of people are afraid that the BW is going to cross the line. To me, I think with BWO, you guys are more uh, tough as far as um, you guys are more like I would like to say the ECW of the promo world, if I could say it. Not by saying that you guys are second rate or not, but by saying how you guys have more give on the product. As far as how they say rule one, which is you can't be personal, whatever. There's that line that which I feel comfortable at BWO because I'm not a bad guy, but it gives me a comfort zone. I could watch my mouth, but I don't have to watch my mouth. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
I like that. I do. But there's a lot of people that you think you're in the game to have fun and stuff, but also this is a tough game. You gotta get with the program and understand that feelings are gonna get hurt. That's part of the game. And a lot of people don't know how to take it that way. So when they look at BWO, they're like, man, they're scared. They're scared. But in reality, you guys are probably the nicest people that I've ever promoted with or against. I mean, that locker room, you guys are awesome. And I advise people to try. I advise people to go over there and do the little thing because you guys are growing. But just people got to understand that this game, it's like if you play football and you're afraid to get hit, don't play the game. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely,
and, and,
absolutely.
and I feel, like I said, I feel um, and I feel that that's the problem with a lot of people. They tiptoe, and that's the problem with the promo world, and that's why a lot of people have this problem with racism, have problems with whatever because they tiptoe around the situation. All you have to do is talk to the person. Hey, Ramboa, do you want? Can I say this? Is it going to hurt your feelings? You know. Um, but that's enough about that. Let's talk about your wins, man. Man, I tell you that I sat there and watched Promo Mania, you versus Haywood, and that to me, I think that's the darkest I've seen. Because we just learned. I'm just getting to know you guys and stuff, but that's the darkest I've ever seen you been for a while. And boy, that was awesome. Um, did you want to get to that point with him, or was it the fact that he didn't remember your name? What was the that brought that fire out in you?
I knew the promo I was going to cut on Haywood the second he stepped out at Better Watch Out December 23rd, 2023. And he gave that 7-minute rant trying to educate us about bigger than EFED and Haywood. It's better than EFED. Um, I knew that. Okay, I'm not sure if he wants to face me. Kind of feels like it. My name was dropped in there. I know that he left BWO 3 years ago because he lost to Bobby Miller in a TYS championship match, and I just felt like such an easy story to tell. The whole Jason thing added layer to it, um, but it only reinforced what I wanted to say. You know, he was like, "I'm BWO, you're EFED. This is home base for me." I thought it was very easy for me to put on for my city, pretty much. Which has been what I've been doing all across the promo verse. You see me in PPA, you see this TYS championship. You see me in Foundation, you see this TYS championship. You see me in WGP, you see this TYS championship. And it's not about me, man. It's like I'm trying to have like a mid-level run, you know. Um, for a lot of people, the belt makes the person. I don't. That ain't me, man. That's not me. I want that Joey Ramboa really puts BWO in your face. That's what I want from it. And when once I got an inkling that Haywood wants me and wants my championship, I'm like, this is a layup. And especially with the previous rival that I had coming from the E-Feds, I'm like, my God, this is slowly but surely becoming my story. And I never really looked at it. That's the beautiful part. It all fell together organically. Um, the outside world wanted to test themselves against me. Um, a lot of the stuff that I was saying during my feud with Bones and Trevor um, really tickled the fancy of the outside world, and it gave me the opportunity to just showcase what's already in my heart. This is my home, and I'm proud of my home. And if you think that we are beneath you, you've got a whole nother thing coming. Cause I don't even fancy myself the best in BWO. I'm only a 2 year old promo artist. So if I'm not even the best, then what does that say for a Lamar Wallace? What does that say about a DB greatness? What does that say about a Bobby Miller, about a Don Krypton, a Bones, Hezekiah Lil John, Trevor, the people who paved the way and forged the way for me? It only makes the brand even bigger. So I think it. I'm so blessed, man. I'm so blessed with this run that I've had this past year. Um, I'm going on. I'm like a few weeks away from 365 as TYS champion. And DB Greatness just dropped some knowledge on Promo Mania that I didn't even know. He said that I'm only a few weeks away from being the longest champion, period, in BWO. In all of the different championships, even the ones that have been disbanded. I'm humbled, man. I'm humbled.
I mean, that's a and like I said, you know, you guys, I'm glad. I'm like I said, I'm glad in a way that you guys did, come out and play with us because we wouldn't know other places out there that are, um, out there. But with that being said, I want to ask you a question. If you were the owner, not of BWO, just the owner of any other competitive league, um, because I know that you guys have a different way of dropping your product, a different way of showing out. I don't know if it's because you don't want to, rub elbows and drop it with somebody else and have them not see the product. But do you agree or do you think dropping the product, like not having a time or not doing it a certain time of day or have it like planned to put out the product, you think that that kind of hurts viewership a little bit? Or what would
Like
you?
I
How
said,
would you
time.
do it? Like yeah, like say okay, I want my show to come out every Thursday at 10 p.m. Right, and I want to put out there, hey, this is the my product's going to be out here Thursday at 10 p.m. Do you think because you guys have a unique way of dropping your product, you drop it like Friday, maybe 10 o'clock you feel like it's Saturday. I'm not saying that's wrong. Don't get me wrong. What I'm saying is,
Yeah.
you think that probably kind of scatters the viewership that you guys got, or you just wait, or you just know that people probably watch it on their own leisure, so it doesn't matter what time you drop it.
So if I was the owner, I'm not even gonna look at it as an owner. I'm gonna give you a few scenarios, and I'm just gonna tell you that what works, right? Um, Foundation, right? They come out every Saturday morning. They've got their set time, and that's beautiful. I don't have to ask no one. I just pop up. I know that Foundation is on. If I'm interested in watching, or if I've got the time, I jump on. No question asked. It plays to what you're alluding to with the scheduling. BWO does not have that, and I think that I think that it fits and suits BWO so well. This we'll drop it when we feel like it, motherfucker. Like that
Right,
kind
right,
of vibe. No, not everyone could do that. You
right,
know,
right.
it fits our culture, the rugged, abrasive approach that we do our stuff. There's a like if you follow hip hop, like the rap battle scene, right? Like the rap battle scene with some of these best artists that have been coming out in the last 10, 15 years, right? If you follow that and you like wrestling, the way we approach BWO is kind of a merge of those two things. We're like a hybrid. We're not just like promo artists or whatever. And that's another thing that I'll talk about later, the difference between a promo artist and a promo wrestler. And but I think that not many people could pull that off, and it just fits our style. And also, it's like we have such a strong, loyal fan base. Like, you don't understand how strong our brotherhood is. With very little promotion, we drop on YouTube and on Facebook, but the views that they both get individually, like the last time I checked, it was already at 97 views, the Facebook video alone.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so is it tactical? No, but it's a hobby. That's first and foremost. It's a hobby. We drop when we get to it. And it also limits the pressure too for us as a team. Oh, we gotta do this by then. We gotta do it by then. No. You let us know, hey man, this happened in my life. I need an extra day. I need an extra 2 days. Then we revamp and we find a way to make it look cool. Like we did it on purpose. There's so many things that happen behind the scenes that you would never know because we just make it look cool. Yeah, we intended to do this. Now it's a 3-day event. You got to have the swagger.
That's true. That's true. And like I said, you guys do have the swagger. Now, I'm gonna go to a quick commercial break because, like, you gotta pay the bills and stuff. But after that, we can talk about the promo wrestling stuff, and then I want to get to just something a little bit more. I guess I would say a little more personal, intense. So
Yeah,
we'll be back. We'll be
go
back,
easy.
and
WGP Maniacs, you can now wild out from the comfort of your own home with the new merchandise store with tons of designs like the Level Up collection, the vintage Wild Out Wednesday logo, as well as the new Wild Out Wednesday logo. So check out the WGP merch at redbubble.com. Search WGP merch and get your piece of the geeks.
that was WGP, and I put the commercial out there to help them out. Also, they have Stephen Faison merch. Every time you buy it all procedures all go all to the family. So, you might as well go ahead and help out a little bit. Now, I would like to get into something a little bit. You said something before the commercial break about promo wrestlers and promo stars, whatever, right? Promo stars and promo wrestlers. You
Promo
said
artists.
artists. Okay, sorry, promo artists. Now, explain the difference of what you mean by that.
I mean, first and foremost, you just dropped you name dropped Stephen Faison. Rest in peace, Stephen Faison.
Man.
F in the chat for my boy Stevie. Um, Promo artists and promo wrestlers. Oh man, that's probably from a art form point of view, probably the most difficult thing that I have a problem with, collaborating with other brands. There's certain things that is common in other feds that go 100% against my philosophy. For example, a promo wrestler constructs his promo as if there will be a wrestling match someday or right after the promo. A promo artist knows that the match is the match. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, there's no finishing moves.
Right,
These words that I'm telling you are my finishing moves. So we don't approach it like wrestling. We pay homage to the lineage of wrestling. For example, right? Wrestling evolved from a circus act. Do you think they hyper focus on circuses or use any kind of lingo of a circus that would remind you of a circus at all? No, this is wrestling.
right,
We we don't dismiss our roots, but this is wrestling.
right,
Same thing with us. We're promo artists. We love wrestling, and so much of it is an influence to what we do. But this is its own thing, and this is a content creation era. There's an entire demographic out there waiting to be fans of something like this that don't give a rat's ass about wrestling. So we have to give the honor to this art form in itself. So when people like, for example, if I work hard on a match and I took the time to write a script, whatever the case may be, or do the editing, do the lighting, do green screen work, seriously take time to do something serious. And then the booker decides to turn my match into an angle and I don't even get judged. I don't get no feedback or they don't even present the full extent of my promo. That's a slap in the face to me as a promo artist. You're disrespecting me. You're disrespecting my time, my effort. Um, a promo angle needs to be an agreement between two sides. How do
right.
you want to pull this off? And I don't want to pull the curtain back, but it's a big issue with this art form, which it would never happen in the BWO. That just wouldn't fly. We just don't do that there. Could we do an angle? Sure, but like I said, we got to collaborate on it. A match is a match. Now, if you no show the match, DQ, you lost. Period. It's a competition, you know? Like there's stories in between the competition, but ultimately it's a competition. We're trying to win.
Now, see, now you said I had so many stuff swimming in my head when you were saying that with all these questions coming, wham, 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 wham. But when you hit something that I wanted to ask about. Now that you said, okay, you said something about what was wrong with the promo community, which that's true. You sit there and you do your work. You got people that just turn on the camera and just say what they got to say, but then you got this other person that edits and does all this stuff, but then they don't give you that feedback, or they don't hit the like button, or they don't acknowledge anything, but they say they watch it. So if you watch it, how hard is it to hit the like button? But
Yeah.
it's discouraging. A lot of people don't like to do this because they feel discouraged. I mean, I don't care how many times you win or lose, but if you feel that you have purpose, it makes everything so much better. And you're right, that's a big problem, especially if you own a company or you're um and I'm gonna pull the fourth wall of the curtain back a little. If you own a company, you should always always make sure that you guys get the flowers, no matter what, win, lose, or whatever. You got guys show up every day that don't get their flowers. I mean, they may not be good at the craft yet, or they're getting there, but you could tell that they put the effort in, you know. And I think that a lot of owners do that. They dismiss the fact of how hard somebody works. You know, sometimes you should get a feedback there. And I noticed, there was a that you didn't have feedback, and that got you really mad. And I kind of understand, because when you do your craft and you do your promos, you could tell that you work on it. You could tell that you put 110% in it. It's like, if I do a good job, not everybody, if you have a job, not everybody wants a raise. I mean, it's good to have, but it's always good to have somebody, pat you in the back and say, good job, buddy. And that's what we need. We need more of that. And I think that's why a lot of people get that hatred, or they're like, they don't get that what they need. And I think that's that's a lot of the problem, is the miscommunication with that. What do you think? Do you think that has a big thing that can change, maybe help change, with people just getting to getting their flowers? Do you think that that's a big problem in this community?
Yeah, I feel like it's gonna require a unlearning. It's a lot of bad habits, and I know a lot of people are gonna look at me like, who does this guy think he is? It is what it is. I'm gonna tell you the truth. You could like it or dislike it. That's up to you, man. But I'm a disruptor. I wasn't even mad. I wasn't insulted, but I needed to make sure the way I address this, it never happens again to me. And I hope it's loud enough so that you don't do it to others. Now, the conversations I had in private, much more respectful, much more elaborate. This is why I dislike it, and this is what's wrong with it. Now, do I know if the way I conveyed my message was actually effective? Do I know if they felt like I was mad or whatever? I don't know that 100%. But I try my best to be like, this is why I believe this is wrong. And I do that because I think it shouldn't be for anybody. Like, forget about me. I made
Right,
it public because, hey, if anybody else agrees with this, you guys should definitely have this conversation. You
right,
know, it's
right,
it's disrespectful. It makes me feel like it's unimportant. I don't want to be a part of things like this anymore. Like, it's a clear message, and it's just the truth, man. It's like, we worked on a match. You never told me I was working on an angle. You like, let's be clear. There's a part of it that's story, and there's a part of it that's competition. If that's not what y'all do here, let me know so I can leave. You know?
right, right. And you should. I mean, that's respect. At least they could do is say, hey, you're going to lose to this guy by 1 point because it's a story that we want to stir up. But at least
Yeah,
go in my inbox and be like, hey, I got an angle I want to work. You might lose this match, but this is what I see. And I'm gonna be honest, and I'm gonna name drop too, because Dan, he does a good job with that. Dan will go in my inbox and he'll be like, "Hey, I want to do this," and then
yeah,
and he'll tell me, "Hey, do you think that's cool?" He does. He communicates, and I like that. And I
yeah,
think that needs to be that's more of an issue with the communication. I think that a lot of people, yes, this is a competition, and you do want to be one of the best brands out there, but you're not going to be the best brand by beating everybody else up. I think everybody should just get together. I'm not saying because we did try this under an umbrella stuff and everybody broke up and stuff, but I think that nobody should be branded to nobody. I think that everybody should just you know help each other out. You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys got it right. BWO, I know that you guys stay out of, you guys stay out of a lot of trouble, and that's good because there's a lot of beef going on with owners and stuff like that. I just want to compete. I just
yeah,
want to give the good best content I could possibly give. And I know, like I said, like a couple months ago, there was something that um, people agreed with what I did and what I didn't do. But it is what it is at the end of the day.
yeah,
And like I said, and that's just like you and everybody else. I think you guys do great content, and I think that when you guys did what you did and came out and showed us that, hey, there's another world out there, I think is great. And I think that BXT, which you're not the only guys that did it, but the BXT that you have, the way you run it, I think is immaculate because it shows before you get on the main roster Is this guy down? Or it's women, whatever. Are they down? Are they consistent? Do they want this? You don't have to win or lose, but you just got to show commitment. And that's how I think you guys can weed out the bad, weed out the bad apples. And I think that's what how you guys are doing. I'm not sure if that's the right thing, but I feel that that's what you're doing. So, what is the meaning of B? I mean, I know you got some kind of, what is the meaning of BXT? What's the whole thing about it?
It's it's training grounds. We don't we don't want to throw new people to the wolves. At the end of the day, we want to grow the brand. We want to grow the roster. We want to have more arsenals in our toolbox. Um, so many people come through and they do well. They flourish among all the difficulties. But then a lot of times we see people with so much potential just give up and get discouraged. So BXT was just like, man, we got to find a way to keep people motivated, um, feel inspired, have like an incentive to want to do this while we try to help them out. And even with BXT, people sometimes quit anyway. It's not for everybody, but I feel like I appreciate it because everyone sees the run that I've been on the last year, but you didn't see my first year. You guys didn't see my first year. You didn't see the trials and tribulations. You didn't see what I kept coming back from. You ain't see me getting bodied by people who've been doing this for 5 or 6 years. And thank God these rookies now they don't have to go through that. They could just kind of like have exhibition matches amongst themselves. And a lot of the times we'll have people from other brands go through BXT first. Most people got to do that, not because we don't see your value, but because we do see your value. You're gonna have a hard time understanding why they get scored so low. I did so well. This works over here. That works over there. No, we need you to understand why this doesn't work over here. Like we don't um we don't tolerate this, that, and the third. It's kind of like the unlearning thing that I mentioned earlier. Like when we hear somebody throwing around wrestling cliches, I'm like, dog, you're not Bray Wyatt. That's not entertaining. It's not entertaining, and it's not a good bar. Like it's not like a jab to the person you're speaking to. It's
Right.
just a cliche thing that a lot of places accept as good content.
Well, speaking of cliche, like you said, and the ring thing, which is true, and I think the problem with that is a lot of people are in so many e-feds and so many competitions or wherever they're at that they forget. Like we have certain individuals that they think they're really in a ring. They're really gonna take your head off and they're gonna like drop kick you and hit you with a driver or whatever. But and I don't think it's their fault. I think the simple fact is they come from a place which is kayfabe, which is wrestling and whatever. They do wrestling whatever, and I think they just get that mix up. And I think it's funny because you like people that don't do that and they come to this place like, oh yeah, man, I'm gonna take you and put you in a sharpshooter. You're like, wait a minute, how the hell are you going through that screen? But how do we see? I think that to me, to be honest with you, and I don't know how to fix that because we don't get paid or anything, but I just think that it's kind of whack that everybody competes everywhere because you see the same matches. So sometimes you see a same match. Like let's say you and AEP for instance, you guys fought each other everywhere in 7 different competitions in one week, and that's not what it's for. It's just that's just how it is. And sometimes you just get tired of it. You're like Manny fighting him again, just a different brand. I mean, do you think there's a way we could fix that, or it's a problem that it's just something that we just gonna have to just deal with?
Well, when it comes to AAP, I just want to clarify. I want to take that one on the chin. I personally requested those matches. I
Okay.
wanted to face AEP everywhere, and that was a player coach thing on my behalf. One of man, I don't even know if I should say this, but if I had to choose the person I would want to dethrone me, it would be AEP.
Really?
Um,
Interesting.
so if I could choose, not like, of course, I have the responsibility of being like I can't just give away a title you're not ready for. So,
Right,
uh,
right, right.
and also the competitive nature in me would never just bow down anyway. But if I could choose a perfect person to dethrone me, I'd want it to be him because I've added so much value to this championship in the last year. Whoever beats me, that is a launching pad to another plateau. So it wouldn't make sense for me to drop this to Bones. Bones is my OG.
He's
You know,
established. You want
I
to
want
drop it to somebody to establish him, pretty
yeah,
much.
I want to put it on. I want the next person to have it to be somebody that it could really benefit.
I feel
So
you.
um that was what that was about. I was like I requested all those matches. And he's just a testament of BXT. He was someone who was mentioning wrestling moves when he was in PPA just a few months ago. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But if you watch the progression of his matches since he enrolled into BXT, it's night and day.
Oh, I agree with that. I've seen it, man. Like I said, I've seen him elsewhere, and he totally changed. I mean, Iceman Bobby Miller. I'm gonna say it right here, right now. He escaped because AP did one hell of a promo at Fate, and I thought he was gonna take it. And you're right. I
Bro,
mean, he
he has
yeah,
championship matches everywhere, bro. He faced Don Krypton for the Havoc Championship last week. Like he is actually being considered like we need him to challenge for a title because he has so much momentum on his side. And I know that it could get convoluted. I already feel it. I already feel the convolutedness. I'm trying to find ways of retreating a little bit without ruining relationships because I don't
right,
want nobody to think that I just don't want to participate.
right,
But I do feel like it would benefit the promo verse at large if I could not be everywhere. You know, if
right.
if everything is a dream match, then nothing is. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what I was trying to say when you actually said what I'm saying with being everywhere, fighting everybody. Do we really have a bucket list? Because like I said, everybody faced everybody at least one time in their life. But it seems it's funny because I'm gonna name because we all believe in McFly, so I'm gonna name drop McFly now. McFly, for instance, let's say PPA, he's not as dangerous, but let's say Foundation, he's dangerous. It's weird because they totally are. They are the same people, but they're in higher regards in different areas. See what I'm saying? I wonder why that is. I guess because it's the criteria the judges do. But
Yeah.
I think this is probably an issue that we're going to have to deal with because there's no way to fix this because everybody that wants to compete someplace, you don't want to tell them no, or you don't want to tell them they can't. Um, I mean, unless we are doing a big ass draft, like a promo versus draft. I mean, there's no way that we. But
That
has
wouldn't work. That wouldn't
it
work across the
wouldn't.
board.
It wouldn't. And the thing about it too is I want to ask you this: was there ever a match that you had to say no to just because you're like, man, I faced him 18 times already? Have you ever denied a match because of that? Have you ever said, hey, um, I'd like to face somebody else?
Um, I've denied matches one if I felt like I was being like I was walking into a trap. Like if I didn't trust the person putting it together, like if I felt like the match felt more like an angle than a match,
Right.
I'll decline that. Um, I've declined a couple championship matches recently um in the E-Feds simply because I'm like, no, first of all, my friend has that. And second of all, that title right now would not add to anything that I'm doing. I
Right.
don't need the title. The person who's holding it is doing a great job. You know, sometimes like I'll take a non-title match easy, but with championship matches, I'm like, okay, why? You
Right.
know, why? Like I came to Foundation a few months ago. I was never going to challenge for the Foundation Championship so long as Steven Faison had it. Um, the title became vacant, and the tournament was his in honor. So I'm like, that's a no brainer.
Right.
Um, that's a no brainer. I want to give my all in the honor of Stephen Faison. But was I gonna challenge him one on one? Even Vagabond. I don't want Vagabond's blueprint title. He's
Right.
in his lane. He is the happiest I've seen him. He's doing a great job. He's on a legendary run himself.
Right.
Why would I want to interrupt that?
And
You
that's
know?
true. Yeah, that's exactly why I did what I did. I stepped aside because that's what you're supposed to do. You know what I mean? I had that match. I had a chance to get a title back, but I said, hey, you know what? Records are meant to be broken. You know what I'm saying? And Vagabond's doing a great job with it. And if they ever said, hey, you want a blueprint title match against Vagabond? No, I don't. That's the reason why I stepped aside. So if they ever
Yeah.
ask me to do that, I'm like, no. I think I'm done doing what I have to do. I want to do that. I want to be the person to say, hey, hell, I want to be, even if I don't ever win the world championship, I think I could be one of the greatest champions. I'm one of the greatest pro artists never to win the title. You know,
Yeah.
and I think it's just
That
what you
that's
put into it.
great in its own right too.
Right.
If you set it up properly and you make your identity that and you do it well, that's even better than holding the title.
Right. And like I said, I'm for wanting to, you wanting to get the next generation over. That's our job. Our job is, hey, my first, second, third. I mean, I had my runs. I had people. I held belts. I've done what I've done. It might not have been a time that we met and crossed paths, but I was decorated. But I feel better and have a better. I feel better in my heart that to get the other person over. I'm not gonna, by all means, I'm not gonna say, hey, I'm gonna lay down. You're gonna do the finger poke of doom. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
it warms my heart for somebody like McFly, or somebody like AP. Hell, even somebody like Buckshot to even get over on me. It warms me because I'm like, dude, I'm like I told McFly on our interview. I said, bro, I'm proud of you because I am. I'm proud of him, and that's what I want to do. I want this to be fun, but I also want this to be a place where I'm remembered to help just build the stars.
Right.
I was there when Foundation first started. I was one of the foundations, and like people like AP, people like McFly, people like freaking Dante Black, dude. These guys, I was bodying them when they first started, and to see them now, it's fucking amazing, and I'm proud of that. I'm proud of that, and I'm sure that that's your main goal. And like I said, man, you're an amazing person. First off, if nobody knows who you are, they need to get to know you. One, you know what I'm saying, and two, um, you got a lot of coaching. If I ever needed some help or I wanted some, I came to your DM and said, "Hey, yo, what do you think about this?" And I appreciate that, and I hope a lot of people can use, you know, people like that.
Yeah.
Now, with that being said, I know you don't have any. I don't know if you. I mean, I know you have your likes and dislikes and stuff, but what do you think about with this promo verse? Do you think? I mean, I think life's too short. Like, I know I've had my little differences with people, and I'm trying to, you know, get away with people. But what do you think about all that drama and stuff? I mean, do you think? I mean, why does it exist?
Well, I have my little clique, man. I have my clique, and every once in a while we're just we're brainstorming what we want to do across the promo verse. I'm like, man, why'd you guys take me to the E-Feds? Why'd you guys? That's what I called other brands. Why'd you guys
Yeah,
bring me to the E-Feds? Um, because BWO slogan is better than E-Fed. So
right.
I've been saying that. I've been calling them the E-Feds for over a year. I used to tease Don Krypton and Steven Faison when they were running their championships in Vagabond. I'm like, get this E-Fed shit out of here. Just fooling around.
Right.
Locker room banter type shit. Um, but but there are times where things happen, and talking shit during the promos not part of it. The shit that I've said, the crazy shit that I've said on a promo, that's the least of my worries. That's fun. That's the fun part. And when people say crazy shit about me too, believe it or not, I really pop. I laugh my ass off. Rambola, Bones calling me a urine colored person. It's hysterical to me. Even people who I don't really consider my friends, if they say something really funny, it's funny, man. That's what we're here for. This
Right.
is a craft about roasting each other's lives. So if anybody has a problem with anything I say, I'm like, you're in the wrong place, man. You do not face me. But I will say the the drama shit, the petty shit, the racist shit, the homophobia shit, the political shit, like when you know the person is really like that, like they really think that way of people, you know, or they really think that they're better than you or whatever, like on a on a human level, it's really discouraging, you know.
Right.
Um it's the only time where I regret stepping outside, like I say. Um I've mentioned it to a few people. I'm like, man, I've dealt with more drama in the last 4 months that I stepped outside of BWO than in my entire 2 years just only in the BWO. And that misconception of the BWO being this or guys from over here are that. Listen, especially when it comes to the racism, we can't run away from our culture. You know, we can't take our culture off. So there are scars in our souls that run so far back. And when certain codes are dishonored, um, something needs to be said. You know, I could easily mute, block, and just stay with my clique. But what about all the autistic kids that look like me? What about all the autistic black kids that have to deal with the racism in these groups
Right.
and they don't know how to handle themselves? They don't even know. They don't even know that it's not normal.
Right.
They think that these racial slurs are okay. Oh, it's part of the game. No, it's not part of the game. That's who I do it for. That's who I do it for. You know, I'm like, God, put one of these kids in my way so I could recruit them out of these racist feds and bring them over to a brotherhood. I'm praying to find kids like that. I'm praying to find bullied kids. You know, so and this has always been me. This has always been something that's broken my heart since I was a
Right.
kid. You know, maybe one day I'll share some of the situations that I've been through, relatives have been through in an artistic way because I don't just want to throw stuff away.
Right.
Maybe I'll share some of the heartbreaking things one day.
Right.
But when I see in something like that happen, I'm like, no, I don't respect you. I don't like you. And if you look like me and you tolerate the shit or you make excuses for it, I'm disappointed at minimum. At minimum, because it makes me question what kind of household you were raised in.
Right. Right.
Like, okay, all right, you were probably one of the Latinos that were cool with that shit. I don't like that. I can't like so much. Man, I don't want to get too heavy on this.
I feel you, man. I feel you.
So much rape, abduction, and murder has come from this mentality. I can't shrug it off like it's funny. I
Right.
can't shrug it off like this is just a game or just a regular insult. You know, you could roast me on anything else, but when you roasting something that's a spit in the face to a whole demographic of humans, we've got a problem, you know?
Yeah.
So, and that exists so much in the wrestling fandom world. So much. I see it all the time.
Well, before we head out and before I let you do your thing, because usually I let you do your own thing, say whatever you want to say. You get the floor, but I want to do this one more thing. You know how video games had been a very big thing, and all of a sudden became esports. Do you think? I do. I believe so. We have enough fandom out there. We have enough people that want to do this. Some people just are afraid because they're afraid of getting made fun of, like you said, and that makes you know. But do you actually believe that in time this will actually be a big thing? Like we can make it like competition wise. Like hell, we got pillow fighting, slaps fighting. Do you think that we can make this happen? Maybe.
Wapo. I would not have signed myself up for your FAFO tournament if I didn't actually believe that one day the promoverse could be profitable, not just profitable, but extremely profitable. This, what we do, and the fact that it's a genuine art form that we really enjoy. Not only do we enjoy making and creating it, we enjoy watching each other's art as well. It's loud. It's loud. All it takes is a couple of kids getting into it and them spreading it around. Yo, this was crazy. Wow, what is this? What, I want to know what that is. It'll spread like wildfire, man. It'll,
I just hope we could. I hope we're there to see it. I hope we're there to experience it.
yeah,
We could always say that, hey, we was there when it first started,
right.
but I mean, think about it. It expanded from they said that they were literally writing stories. They were literally emailing in, mailing it postal service. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, look
Yeah,
how
they
far
had forums on it on AOL Messenger.
yeah, remember AOL Messenger. Now, I mean, I'm telling you right now that this form has developed, and with the right, I guess, investors, whatever, we can make this a big opportunity because this thing, it kind of reminds me of Wildin' Out. Wildin' Out's
Yeah,
a good example. Um, and I think that belts, everything. I mean, we can do this, and I think this place will grow. We just need to figure out how to get rid of that negativity, that racism, that political,
we
you
can't
know,
get rid of it. We could only
maintain it, contain it,
separate ourselves from it.
or contain, can make sure it's out of what. But man, this has been we had everything funny, drama, everything in this interview, and I appreciate it. It's everything I was hoping for and more. I'm glad I finally had an opportunity. Right now, I like to give my guests whatever they want to do. If they want to, you know, say something to somebody, advertise themselves, whatever you got on your mind. The floor is yours, Papa. Just say what you want to say.
Hey, first and foremost, shout out to the Pillars. Shout out to Mayhem. Um, Shout out to Jay the Ace, who is serving our U.S. military out in Japan right now. Um, we are in what seems like the beginning of rumblings of war, and he has been less available. Um, and send your thoughts and prayers. Make sure that you're praying for our military and our friends and family who's out there. And JD Ace is definitely, forget about the phenomenal artist that he is. He's a phenomenal person. My best friend, Don Krypton. Um, Shout out to Don. Shout out to my boy AT&T who just won the BWO World Heavyweight Championship. Anyone who's ever been a Mayhem alumni, you guys are my sons. My boy Wapo. Who else am I missing out there? Everyone in the BWO Council. Can't name drop because
The council,
that's
yeah.
secret society out there. My boy Saban, up and
Prince Saban.
coming, BXT champion. It's my boy right there, Bucky. That's like a little brother. And above all, BWO.
Awesome, awesome. And like I said, it's been a pleasure having you, man. This is the Fine Print with another stellar episode with the King of Puerto Rico. I'm gonna say it, even though I don't want to say it, but I'm gonna say it. The King of Puerto Rico. Well, it's
Yeah,
I Wapo, and we got Ramboa. And hey, hope to see you soon next week. Thanks for joining the
it's
fun.
been fun, brother. Let's do this again, doggy.
All right.